Just roll. Rebecca Willow.
Jacqueline Asbill.
Here.
Jay Fabian. Michelle Hayes.
Here.
Rex Ryder.
Here.
Teresa Ward.
Here.
And board approve the agenda, except I'd like this interchange 6 and 7. Mike is usually before the administrative team. So we have a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Rebecca Willow.
Jacqueline Asbill.
Yes.
Michelle Hayes.
Yes.
Rex Ryder.
Yes.
Teresa Ward.
Yes.
Vote is 4-0.
Okay, see no public. That's right. All right, and then so we'll move on to Mr. Vaccarello.
I have one item that I'm seeking approval tonight is the creation of Fund 022, an agency fund. If you recall, the management report for the audit for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2012 contained a comment about old outstanding checks. What we have to do is move them to Fund 022 for a period of 5 years, and then at that time we can release the funds back into the general fund. It took this long to get the Auditor of State to grant me permission to create a new fund, and now I have to have board approval.
So moved. A second.
Any comments? Mr. Vaccarello?
Michelle Hayes.
Yes.
Rex Ryder.
Yes.
Teresa Ward.
Yes.
Jacqueline Asbill.
Yes.
Vote is 4-0. And that's all I have this evening. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. And we'll move up to reports of the administrative team, Dr. Gotti and Mrs. Smith, and move right into recommendations.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to state publicly, maybe for the first time, is that we have been in conversations with, we're as the board directed us, we were, talking with all kinds of options. So we're looking at different funding options with private sector, we're looking at different potential options with other districts. So we have been exploring those types of things, and I think it's time maybe we need to, talk about that a little bit in the public forum here, because there's some viable options out there. As we get more information and more conversation, we'll talk more in detail, but I think it's important that the community knows we're exploring different options. And as the board director, it's a new day. We can't keep doing what we've been doing for a number of years and keep going back to the taxpayer for tax increases all the time. We have to look at new and creative ways to better financially run the district, and we need to find new and creative ways to financially fund the district. So we are out there exploring different options. Okay.
Do you want to share those options now, or do you want to share it in the future?
If you'd like me to.
If it's appropriate to,
I think it's inappropriate. There's all kinds of rumors, so I might as well talk about some of the rumors. We have talked with people from Ledgemont, because obviously they're facing financial challenges down there right now. They're on the ballot, and their board has flat out said though that they're on the ballot in May, and they plan on passing a levy in May. But we have kind of went out there and looked and talked with them to see if there's any interest in working with us, because obviously we're proud of the education we provide here in this community, being excellent with distinction, and we're proud of the brand new facilities we're going to have. We feel that this could be a win-win for both parties, but there are some things that would require to do. At this point in time, there doesn't seem to be an interest on the part of their board, and I don't know where that's going to go, because there's all kinds of other issues that they're dealing with that I'm not directly involved with. There's a state controlling board involved down there, and there's people from Columbus involved down there, so there's all kinds of different interest in it. I wish them the best of luck in May on their ballot issue, and I hope they do pass it, because no district wants to merge or combine with anybody, and I wish them well. But it's as we all know here in this district, it's a challenge. That's a challenge to pass ballot initiatives. We have talked with some private, I'll generalize it to the hospitals, to working collectively to kind of do more enhanced programs for our medical technology area, athletic training type things, and some of our facilities as far as outdoor and indoor, try to get some money from some people to do some enhancements. We're not married to any one group right now. We've had some pretty good conversations, but again, right now it's just at that. There's not dollars on the table. As soon as there are, we'll bring those forward to the board for your approval or for your looking at and see if you're interested or not. But again, you charged me and this administrative team with going out and looking at some creative ways, so that's what we're doing. We're out there, we're uncovering every rock we can to try to find different ways to run smoother, to run more efficiently, and to continue to provide an excellent education for kids in the community. So, if you have questions specifically, I'll gladly answer them.
So Ledgemont knows that we're interested and we're a potential option.
They certainly should know that. We've had several different conversations with their superintendent and treasurer, and we've, I believe, I know she has talked with her board, and they have expressed that they're not interested. So, again, we feel, both Mike and I and Angela, I don't want to speak for you guys or jump in if I am, I think we all feel that it would be good for both communities. We think it would be good for funding for both communities. We think it would be good for education for both communities. Mm-hmm. Let Mike speak to the financial part, but I think they'd actually be better off. We'd be better off too, but they'd be better off too. This is one of those things where two people joining together would actually be stronger than the two separate entities. Mm-hmm. Is that a correct assessment?
It's absolutely correct.
Okay.
And then with the hospitals, we're talking to several different hospitals?
We're at this point in time, we're talking with one because they approached us. And if the dollars or the programs that they're able to provide for us aren't what we feel would be adequate, then we're gonna go on the street to the next one. Okay. Because we're not married to anybody at this point in time. We're kind of, again, talking with them. We have some ideas, they have some ideas. They seem to be excited, but it's something that we want to do now. We don't want to do 10 years from now. Okay.
Well, we'll just keep that on hold and on the back burner and see what happens, and maybe we'll move it to the front burner. Sounds exciting to me.
I think there's a lot of, I think we have a lot of reasons to be excited in this district. Oh, the Cyber Cafe is we're moving along on that. The ceilings are painted, the racks have been moved in the library. If you haven't been to the high school, go to the high school because it's really cool. It's the new colors on the wall. The kids have directly been involved with the planning of this. The teachers have been involved in this. Everybody over there is excited. We're looking at iPads and furnishings now for it, for the kids. It looks like a different place. And I think we're really, as a result of the way we approach this, the kids own this. And I think the kids are going to use it. So we've already got the Wi-Fi in. The Wi-Fi goes all the way over to the cafeteria, so there's a residual effect of the Wi-Fi in the Cyber Cafe. You can get on the internet in the cafeteria now.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's exciting. And the building projects are just, they're unbelievable. They're really good-looking buildings, and they're moving along, and we're really fortunate to have two facilities, and the third facility being the Northern Elementary, which we're doing a lot of planning and a lot of changes for. I mean, we're moving on all these facilities. You'll be proud of them. You really will. And as a result, I believe Susan emailed you about, we set a date for ribbon cutting, which would be the day before the teacher workday. And we initially were going to do it just for the Southern Elementary and the middle school. And then we said, we're doing a lot to the Northern Elementary, so we're going to do 6 o'clock at the Southern Elementary, 7 o'clock at the Northern Elementary, and 8 o'clock at the middle school. So we have all three in one day, so we can get elected officials and dignitaries to go to all three. But we're going to be doing enough things to the Northern Elementary that's going to be worthwhile people going there to see it and walk through it. Okay?
Very good. I think it's very smart that we're keeping the north in balance with the south, even though one's brand new, we're keeping the other one right up to date with it. And that shows conscientiousness on your part that we're trying to keep them both equal. Anybody else?
Next week is OGT week, so there will be an alternative schedule. So there will be more students coming a little bit later if they're a junior and senior and don't have to take any part of the OGT. Freshmen will still do the practice for one more year because I think the following year it could change on them, or they'll be going and moving to some end of course exams. So they'll be doing a practice test next week for OGT, and the sophomores will take it live for the first time. So, can't believe we're already at testing time. The year has flown by.
It will be a ribbon cutting time.
I know.
Before we know it.
I know.
And
That's
the
what's scary
That's the
part.
scary
Yeah.
part. We'll be at ribbon cutting well before we know it.
All right. Anyone else? Let's move on to recommendations, Dr. Gowan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like the board to adopt the following recommendations, beginning with accepting the following resignation. Samantha Lambert, preschool assistant, effective March 1st, 2013, after 6.5 years of service. Enter into an employment contract with the following: Christopher Kolarik, long-term substitute teacher, February 25th, 2013 through March 28th, 2013. Leanna Revere, a one-year limited contract as preschool assistant, hourly rate $8.25 per hour. Brent Lernet, non-certificated person, to a one-year limited personal service contract as a Madison High School co-advisor to the drama. And the following certificated personnel to one-year limited supplemental contracts in compliance with Appendix B of the MEA negotiated agreement. Jennifer Calhoun of Madison High School as drama assistant and technical director. And the following 7 substitute teachers, beginning with Melissa Kolarik and ending with Michael Colapuno. And last but by no means least, the following person is a casual day-to-day sub, Heather Parsons.
Have a motion?
Second.
Comments? Mr. Becquerel.
Rex Ryder?
Yes?
Teresa Ward?
Yes.
Jacqueline Asbill?
Yes.
Michelle Hayes?
Yes.
Vote is 4-0.
And we went out for bid with the technology package, and in compliance with the OSFC construction project, I asked the board to entertain the resolution accepting the lowest responsible and responsive bid for bid package 27B, technology equipment for installation of technology equipment at the new middle school and elementary schools in connection with the School District's Ohio School Facilities Commission project.
So moved.
Second.
The amount of the bid would go to Southeast Security in the amount of $553,000.
Any comments, questions? I did get to meet these people that run the company, and they're very sharp. I was very impressed with their presentation.
Was their bid under budget?
It was actually almost 20% under budget.
Good.
Yeah. It was we had very competitive bids, so good thing.
Here on the second page, it shows you what all the bids were.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Mr. Becquerel?
Teresa Ward?
Yes.
Jacqueline Asbill?
Yes.
Michelle Hayes?
Yes.
Rex Ryder?
Yes?
Vote is 4-0.
That concludes my recommendations, Mr. President.
Well, we're moving to item 10, which kind of opens the door for the board for a change. Any topics that we want to discuss?
It's been so long since we've had
I know, take a deep breath.
the ability to do that.
I do know, as Dr. Gotti said, between now and the opening day of school, the administration team has their hands full. Think about everything has to be moved, everything has to be completed. We still have our furniture package, right, to come down the line?
Correct. That should be, when's the bid opening for that, Mike?
Next week either.
Okay. We should have that back to you in probably 2 weeks, because they have to qualify the bidders. And, but we'll be physically opening the bids next week, that's the last bid. That's it.
And I was thinking just off the top of my head, even as I was driving here, our next meeting is at the course room, right? In the course room?
Correct?
And, I don't know the board's work schedule, but maybe we could, take a short tour through the building that will be on daylight savings time. And maybe the board could take at least go through the middle school. Would they, like to do that before our meeting?
I would love to.
Okay.
Does that sound?
What time, 5 o'clock?
Look at everybody's work schedule.
I can probably be there by about 5:15.
Perfect.
That's fine.
We'll make it work.
What's the date on it?
I've only given about 100 tours.
It's the 19th.
I took the school newspaper through yesterday. Young lady, real nice kid.
I was asking Angela this morning about the board office and whether or not we're moving it. Do we know what we're waiting on to?
We are, but to be very, very honest with you, Michelle, we haven't given that an ounce of thought because we're right now, let me take that back. We kind of walked over there and looked at how we could do things because obviously we don't want to put the preschool where we're gonna move our offices eventually.
Right.
So we have given it a little bit of thought, but we're focused like a laser on getting these 4 buildings open and running. And that could happen in November, it could happen in January, it could happen in February, it could happen at the end of next year. We're not gonna put a self-imposed deadline on that one because it doesn't really matter. We're fine here until we move there. So I would think, I would hope that November, December-ish, maybe over Christmas break. But that's like a second tier in this whole move. Just like people have asked us about the demolition of North Madison, demolition of Homer Nash. We don't have to do that the day after the kids leave. We could do it a year later, we could do it a month later. We want to do it soon, but we have so much right now that we want to make sure that all the routes are correct for the transportation, that the buildings are equipped properly, that the kids know where they're going, the parents know where they're going, the parent groups are set up. We want to make sure all of the logistics of getting kids and getting them educated. Once the second day of school happens, we start focusing on all that other stuff. So I'm not trying to avoid your answer as
No,
much
that's
as.
okay. I appreciate you giving me more detail of what's
Yeah.
going on and what we're looking at and why we're not certain of what we're doing yet.
Okay, okay,
I have a couple questions about,
sure.
and maybe, certainly need to speak to a real estate agent, but what are we doing with the Homer Nash property? Are we going to put it up, can we put it on the market prior to?
We can do whatever the 5 of you please. We could keep it, we sit on it, and I'm not being facetious, I'm just being honest.
Right.
We could put it up for public auction. Once you put it up for public auction, technically the board has a right to accept a bid or reject all bids. Once you reject all bids, which you have the legal right to do, you sell it to anybody. So there's all kinds of, we could tear it down and auction it, we could auction it like it is. So that's why we really haven't given a lot of thought. I've heard all kinds of rumors out there that the village was gonna, I haven't talked to anybody about that site, to be honest with you. I just want, my hope and prayer is that building and this building make it through this year. And then whatever we do with it beyond the second day of school next year is totally up to the board and what you want to do and how you want to do it. I'm open to any suggestions. I would think, from past experience, there's not a lot of value in those buildings because the buildings are in pretty rough shape.
All right.
I would think there's more value in the property. So other than this building, and again, this building we talked briefly about, I'd strongly recommend that we sell this for $1 to the Historical Society because I think it's still a part of the fabric of this community. I think they could use it. I think they could, keep it up. They could keep their stuff here. People could still come here and you'd have a lot of memories here.
We
But
could put
again,
some of the artifacts of the other buildings in this building too, and let it be
Yeah.
kind of like a.
yeah, because I just think for our purposes, it doesn't serve us well anymore because, and they would have to deal with this, it's not ADA compliant. I mean, you really, if somebody wanted to come to a board meeting, now they can't get up the steps.
Right.
So that's why being at Redbird makes a lot of sense to us because there's ramps there, it's one level building, people could get in. the heating and the efficiency of the things are gonna be far greater. The only part of Redbird that we really need to have ready is the part where the preschool's gonna go. And at this point in time, if you're looking at the building from the front, the kindergarten room area and that one front hallway in front of the office and the hallway that kind of goes back toward the playground, halfway would be the preschool area. What we're tentatively looking at, and I'm saying tentative because it's basically Angela, Mike and I and Pat Smith just looking at, is the wing that's to your right, which is now the first grade wing
first
in
grade
preschool,
music.
music and the special ed,
Yeah.
would be the central office. We would like to, and these are just thoughts, there's nothing on paper, we would like to keep the library for like a board meeting room. So we'd have like a meeting room for community groups. The nice thing there is you have the gymnasium, you have a multi-purpose room. So for preschool, they have area to do that stuff, and so that's nice. That leaves the kind of the back wing there, that one of the thoughts, and again, this is just a thought, this isn't refined because we've got so many other things going, is doing something more in-house with our special education. Where we maybe could either subcontract space for special education or create our own programs to try to capture some of the kids that are going out there that we're spending $75,000 a year for. So that's one of the thoughts. Again, you asked us to look at creative things.
Sure.
We're trying to think outside the box. We're trying to think of ways we could make us generate more revenue streams. That could do that. But again, that's a phase 2 type thing. We got to get the preschool over there and settled, and I'm going brain dead right now. Latchkey,
Oh, latchkey too.
yeah. Because it was there, it wasn't there, it was there. It is there again, right?
Yeah.
Okay, latchkey will be there too. So, does that answer your question?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
All right.
And on a smaller level, actually not a smaller level, but a smaller project level, the door to the high school is, after hours, it's just awesome.
Thank you. We've gotten, matter of fact, I think Mr. Thompson from Perry was over here. He liked it so much. I think they're gonna do something similar at Perry. We're talking about. We are doing something at the middle school. It's gonna be different than I really originally explained to you, because when we got the pricing for doing what way we wanted to do it, it was so astronomical. I said, there's gotta be a better way. Well, what is it? Necessity is the mother of invention. So we came up with a creative way to do a similar thing at the middle school, where we cut a hole through the wall and make the current conference room a little like sitting area for parents. So they could go into there, then put an archway right there where they could come into the office. So you have like a little area for the parents to sit in when they come in the building, then go into the office and then buzz them into the building. And it'll be probably $15,000 cheaper. But it's, so.
Very good.
Oh, and one other thing we're looking at, and I don't know the price on it, we did, because, the question always comes up on playground equipment, and the answer I always give you is it's not ADA compliant, and we'd beat it up moving it. Well, we may have found one set that is ADA compliant, and that's the set at Redbird. And we're looking at the cost now of a company that would professionally move that, so that could save us some money for the Northern Elementary's playground. We've got to keep our fingers crossed, because it is ADA compliant. They're looking at the drawings right now. They're looking at the potential of how, if that could be moved, that'd be a home run if we could do it. So that's where we're at. The other, Homer Nash is take way too much money to bring into compliant, correct?
Yes, because it was
Bring it in compliance.
1995,
Yeah.
96, and
Yeah, and it's
Pat
just
said,
all,
yeah,
they're-
not
they're-
compliant.
the laws have changed so much, like slides can't be segmented, you can't be so high off the ground. There's all kinds of new laws and for ramps and platforms and head space between spokes, and Homer Nash's equipment's not near. It's not, actually, let me say it, it's not dangerous, because there's still
Right.
kids
It's
going.
not- it doesn't meet current ADA
Correct.
compliance.
It's not dangerous equipment.
No.
I said that, I thought, whoa, the equipment is not dangerous. It is safe equipment, it just doesn't meet today's ADA guidelines. Okay?
Anybody else? The only thing I can think of at the top of my head is that at this time of year, in the springtime, spring sports are starting, track teams, girls and boys track, baseball, softball, boys tennis, and we have a lot of athletes and now in, you know, pre-training. And people out there, if you're watching this board meeting on television, please tell yourself and your friends to be careful on the highways and roads, because we have a lot of track people sometimes running, and we just know daylight saving time is coming, which is a benefit, but just be careful out there.
So a lot of the kids, especially up,
Sure.
you know, Middle Ridge Road and
Good point.
whatnot.
Good point. And it's spring ahead on Saturday, right?
Yes, sir.
Spring ahead. But along that note, you brought up athletics. I went down to the state championship on Saturday night and watched our young man finish second. It's our, we actually have a record. It's one of those left-handed records that you don't want to have. We've had more second place finishes than any other school in the state. Nick Montgomery finished second. He's a senior in the 138-pound weight class. And we had a young man, Jared Lasco, finished fourth, which was in his weight class a tremendous accomplishment, because it was wrestling is so much about what weight class you're in. He had a really tough weight class, and so did Nick, but Jared finished fourth, and he wasn't expected to finish that high, so he did a great job. Once again, our wrestling team had a fabulous season. Our swim team, as you well know, had a fabulous season. They won the pack in both boys and girls for the first time in the history of the school district. And our boys and girls basketball went a little bit deep into the tournament, did a nice job. We had a good winter sports season.
I saw the girls' final game and the boys' final game. They put a nice effort in, very intense with their coaching, and just it was one of those things, didn't happen.
You know, I've always said that in Madison, Ohio, and small towns like Madison around the state and around the country, you know, high school sports is so important. High school show choir is so important. High school band is so important. Drama is so important. Those things are really the entertainment factor for these kids, and really provide these kids opportunities to go to the next level and be competitive with kids around the world. I mean, we're very fortunate to have strong programs in all of those areas. We really are. Beyond being excellent with distinction, we provide a nice variety of things for kids. We're trying to enhance that further with these hospitals. We'd like to do more things. And we're trying to find creative ways to do that, because we do want to have the best for our kids in Madison. So we'll continue to strive to be the best.
And to me, I think that's the essence of public education, what we offer.
And when you say that about how important the sports are and the arts and the programs and everything that we provide, it just makes me think about how you had said, you know, about Ledgemont and being able to come with us and not, you know, being interested at this time. But I hope that they, you know, understand that we understand for them how important those programs are to them as well.
Absolutely.
They have an excellent wrestling program, they always have.
Oh, yeah.
And,
I think they have a great football program.
oh, yes.
Yeah, they football.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we're a lot more alike than, in a lot of ways, than we are different, so.
See, I would agree with you. I'm not sharing something else. I believe you went to Ledgemont, didn't you?
I did.
And so I think Ledgemont and Southern Madison are very similar in dynamics. I mean, the Ledgemont community.
Absolutely.
I think there's a lot more similarities than there are differences. I really do. But again, we'll continue to have conversation, and hopefully, again, I wish them the best of luck.
I was gonna say, that being said, not only because I went there, but also because nobody wants to see a school district go down.
Exactly.
So I certainly hope that
Exactly.
they are able to pass their levy and be able to sustain their own schools.
Absolutely.
But if not, if they're unable to do that, I'd like to see them come with us than go somewhere else. So
I
hopefully they can see that
very well
we
put.
have a lot to offer.
Very well put, because I feel the exact same way, is that I want to be there for them if they need us, and I think we would be a very good fit. But again, I wish them the best of luck on whatever the date is of the May levy, first Tuesday after the second Monday or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Anybody else? All right, we're moving up to executive session, I believe. Do we have any?
I have no need for executive session at this meeting.
So we will get the details of where we're going to meet, maybe at the parking lot at the
Probably the library.
library.
That'd probably be a logical place, because
Yeah,
Yeah,
between 5 and
is that you can walk the
5:15.
sidewalk over?
Yeah, we get-
5:15, we'll be able to get through it, but
Back lot. The back lot behind
Back
the
lot,
building is
yeah.
paved.
we could do that. Could you, do you know what he's talking about? He said, you know where the bus is going in and out? If you go in that entranceway, right before you get into the bus compound, if you turn left, there's a paved parking area there. Okay? So we're gonna meet back there.
We'll be at the course room afterwards.
Correct, the board member, correct. This is for board members and administrators, this isn't a community tour.
Right.
Okay?
Not yet.
We won't get through it.
Not yet.
Okay, don't have enough hard hats for everybody right now, yeah. Okay.
We need a motion for adjournment.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Becquerel?
Jacqueline Hasbill,
Yes.
Michelle Hayes,
Yes.
Rex Reiger,
Yes.
Teresa Ward,
Yes.
vote is 4-0.
Thanks, everyone.
I'm like,
No,
why
thank
does
you.